Right now, while you're sipping on that bottle of water, there's a good chance your body is losing it almost as fast as you're drinking it. Not because you're sick, not because it's a hot day, but because of one invisible mistake almost everyone makes with hydration, and nobody warns you about it. You feel thirsty, so you drink water. Simple, right? Except more and more research is showing that for a huge number of people, plain water goes in and comes right back out. It doesn't stay long enough to actually rehydrate your cells. Meanwhile, there's one natural drink, something people have been mixing in their own kitchens for generations that studies show your body can actually hold on to far longer than plain water. So why isn't anyone talking about this? Quick question before we go further. Drop a comment and tell me, on a normal day, how many glasses of plain water do you drink? 2? 5? 8? Just type your number below. By the end of this video, you'll understand why that number might matter a lot less than you think, and what actually matters more. Here's what almost nobody tells you. Dehydration doesn't start when your mouth feels dry. It starts hours before that, quietly, inside your cells, long before you ever feel thirsty. Every cell in your body is like a tiny water balloon, and it needs a careful balance of minerals, sodium, potassium, magnesium, just to hold its shape and do its job. When that balance slips, even a little, your cells start to shrink. Your blood volume drops. Your heart has to work harder just to push blood around. You might not feel anything dramatic, just a little foggier, a little more tired by 2 p.m., a dull headache that Tylenol never quite fixes, muscle cramps that show up at night for no reason. Some people notice their heart fluttering slightly when they stand up too fast. Here's the part that should worry you. You can drink water all day long, glass after glass, and still be walking around dehydrated at the cellular level. Because it's not just about how much water goes into your mouth, it's about how much of it your body actually keeps. And for a lot of people, especially past age 50, the body keeps less and less of that water every single year. Your kidneys become a little less efficient at holding onto sodium, your thirst signal gets weaker, and your muscles, which store a huge amount of your body's water, naturally shrink over time. All of that adds up quietly, in the background, while you keep doing the exact same thing you've always done, drinking plain water and assuming it's handling everything. So what's actually going on inside you when this happens? And more importantly, why does plain water sometimes fail to fix it? Here's the biology, and I promise it's simpler than it sounds. Water doesn't just wander into your cells on its own. It needs an escort. Specifically, it needs sodium. Think of sodium like a tour guide, and water like a group of tourists that won't move anywhere without one. Inside your small intestine, there's a tiny transport system. Scientists call it the sodium-glucose cotransporter that pairs sodium and a bit of sugar together, and water hitches a ride right along with them, straight into your bloodstream. Now here's the problem. When you drink plain water with no sodium in it, there's no tour guide. Your body senses the water is too diluted, so it does something surprising. It flushes a big chunk of that water straight out through your kidneys as urine, before your cells ever get to use it. You basically bought a ticket and then got left at the station. This isn't just a theory. Researchers at Loughborough University in the UK ran a study measuring exactly this, comparing how long different drinks stayed in the body instead of getting urinated out. They called it the Beverage Hydration Index. Plain water scored right in the middle, but drinks containing sodium and a little natural sugar, like milk, and certain rehydration solutions scored dramatically higher. Some retained over 50% more fluid than water did hours later. That's the whole secret hiding in plain sight. It was never really about the amount of water. It's about whether your body has the right escort to actually keep that water where it belongs. And this isn't some brand new discovery either. Doctors have quietly relied on this exact mechanism for decades to save the lives of severely dehydrated children in hospitals, using a mixture of water, salt, and a small amount of sugar, long before any commercial sports drink ever existed. If it's powerful enough to be used in emergency medicine, it's powerful enough to matter for your everyday glass of water too. So if sodium is the key, Why does everyone keep telling you to just drink more water? Let's talk about the mistakes almost everyone is making. Mistake number 1. More water is always better. It sounds responsible, but chugging large amounts of plain water in a short window can actually backfire, triggering that flush-out response we just talked about. You end up with a net loss, not a gain. Mistake number 2. Thirst is a reliable warning sign. By the time you feel thirsty, your body has often already been running on a fluid deficit for a while. Relying on thirst alone means you're always playing catch-up. Mistake number 3. All electrolyte drinks are basically the same. Many popular sports drinks are loaded with refined sugar, artificial dyes, and sodium levels that don't match what your body actually lost. Grabbing any colorful bottle off the shelf isn't the same as giving your body what it truly needs. Mistake number 4. Only athletes need electrolytes. This one is huge, especially for anyone over 50. Heat, certain medications, coffee, alcohol, even normal aging, all quietly increase how much sodium and potassium your body loses every single day. You don't need to run a marathon to be affected. Mistake number 5. If I drink enough water eventually, it balances out. It doesn't. Not without the minerals to anchor it. You can pour water into a leaky bucket all day long. Without patching the leak, the water level never actually rises. Mistake number 6. Natural means weaker or less effective. A lot of people assume that if something isn't a lab-formulated product in a bright plastic bottle, it can't possibly work as well. But the sodium-glucose mechanism your body uses doesn't care where the sodium and sugar came from. A homemade mix built the right way can activate the exact same absorption pathway as a clinical rehydration solution. Here's the good news hiding behind every one of these mistakes. None of this means your body is broken. It means your body has been asking for something specific, and it's just never been given the right instructions. This is completely reversible, often within days, not months. You don't need prescription medication. You don't need an expensive cabinet full of supplements. What you need is a simple, natural approach that works with your body's own chemistry instead of against it. And that's exactly what I'm about to walk you through, step by step. Step 1. Understand your mineral trio. What to do? Learn the 3 minerals that matter most for hydration: sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Why it works? These 3 work together like a support team. Sodium pulls water in, potassium keeps it inside your cells, and magnesium helps your muscles and nerves use that water properly. Mechanism. Sodium and potassium sit on opposite sides of your cell walls, creating a gradient that literally pumps nutrients and water where they need to go. Practical tip. Think of these 3 as a package deal, not separate vitamins to remember individually. Common mistake: focusing only on sodium and completely ignoring potassium and magnesium, which throws the whole balance off again. Step 2. Build your own natural electrolyte drink. What to do? In a glass of water, mix a small pinch of sea salt, the juice of half a lemon, and a teaspoon of raw honey or a splash of orange juice. Why it works? This gives you sodium from the salt, potassium and vitamin C from the citrus, and just enough natural sugar to activate that sodium-glucose cotransport system we talked about earlier. Mechanism. That small amount of natural sugar isn't for taste. It's the key that unlocks the door for sodium and water to be absorbed together. Practical tip. Use pink Himalayan or sea salt rather than heavily processed table salt. It carries trace minerals your body recognizes more easily. Common mistake: adding too much salt at once. A small pinch is genuinely enough. More isn't better here. Step 3. Reach for coconut water on high-loss days. What to do? On hot days, sick days, or after sweating heavily. Reach for natural coconut water instead of a sugary sports drink. Why it works? Coconut water naturally contains potassium, sodium, and chloride in proportions your body recognizes, without artificial dyes or excess sugar. Mechanism. Its natural mineral profile closely mirrors what your body actually loses through sweat, so it doesn't need to be flushed out or heavily processed by your liver. Practical tip: choose plain, unsweetened coconut water rather than versions with added sugar or juice blends. Common mistake: relying on coconut water as your only source every single day, since it's naturally very high in potassium, which isn't ideal for everyone in large amounts. Step 4. Time your hydration. Don't wait for thirst. What to do: sip water and your natural electrolyte mix steadily throughout the day, especially first thing in the morning and mid-afternoon. Why it works? This keeps your mineral levels stable instead of letting them crash and spike. Mechanism: your kidneys regulate fluid balance more efficiently with a steady input, rather than trying to process a large volume all at once. Practical tip: keep your homemade electrolyte mix in a bottle on your desk or counter as a visual reminder. Common mistake: saving all your fluid intake for the evening, which can also disrupt sleep with nighttime bathroom trips. Step 5. Eat your electrolytes, not just drink them. What to do: add naturally hydrating, mineral-rich foods to your meals. Think watermelon, cucumbers, leafy greens, bananas, and avocado. Why it works? Whole foods deliver potassium and magnesium alongside fiber and water content, which slows absorption in a gentle, sustained way. Mechanism: the water bound inside fruits and vegetables is released gradually during digestion, giving your body a steadier hydration curve instead of a sudden flush. Practical tip: a slice of watermelon or a handful of berries after a workout can work alongside your drink, not instead of it. Common mistake: believing that food doesn't count toward hydration at all, and only focusing on liquids. Step 6. Adjust for heat, illness, and activity level. What to do: increase your natural electrolyte intake specifically during heat waves, illness with vomiting or diarrhea, or extended physical activity. Why it works? These situations dramatically increase how fast your body loses sodium and potassium through sweat or fluid loss. Mechanism: your body has no way to distinguish between losing minerals from a workout or from being sick. It simply needs them replaced either way. Practical tip: prepare a slightly stronger version of your homemade mix on these specific days. Common mistake: treating every day the same, when your body's actual needs shift significantly with circumstances. Step 7. Watch for your body's own warning signs. What to do: learn to recognize subtle signs of a mineral imbalance, persistent fatigue, muscle cramps, brain fog, or a racing heartbeat when standing. Why it works? These signs typically show up before more serious dehydration symptoms do, giving you an early opportunity to correct course. Mechanism: nerve and muscle function depend directly on proper sodium and potassium levels, so imbalances show up there first. Practical tip: keep a simple mental checklist and notice patterns over a week, rather than reacting to a single bad day. Common mistake: dismissing these signs as just normal aging or stress, when they're often solvable with a mineral adjustment. Step 8. Mind your caffeine and alcohol ratio. What to do: for every cup of coffee, alcoholic drink, or strongly caffeinated tea you have, follow it with a glass of your natural electrolyte mix rather than plain water alone. Why it works? Both caffeine and alcohol have a mild diuretic effect, meaning they increase how much fluid and sodium your kidneys release. Mechanism: this extra fluid loss pulls double duty against you. It drains water and strips away the very minerals you need to hold on to the next glass you drink. Practical tip: keep it simple, 1 for 1. One electrolyte drink for every caffeinated or alcoholic drink you have that day. Common mistake: assuming that because a drink is liquid, it automatically counts as hydration, when some drinks actually work against you. Step 9. Personalize it to your body and lifestyle. What to do: pay attention to your own patterns, climate, activity level, medications, and adjust your mineral intake accordingly rather than following a one-size-fits-all rule. Why it works? A construction worker in July and a retired teacher enjoying an air-conditioned afternoon simply do not lose sodium at the same rate. Mechanism, sweat rate, kidney function, and even certain blood pressure medications all directly change how much sodium your body needs replaced. Practical tip: if you take medication for blood pressure or heart conditions, mention any big hydration changes to your doctor first, since sodium intake can interact with those. Common mistake: copying someone else's exact routine online without accounting for your own health picture. Quick question just for you to think about, not even out loud. Which one of those 9 steps sounds the easiest for you to start with today? If you only remember 3 things from this entire video, let it be these. First, keep a pinch of sea salt and a lemon near your water bottle. That's genuinely all it takes to transform plain water into something your body can actually use and hold on to. Second, swap out at least 1 sugary drink a day: soda, sweetened iced tea, flavored sports drinks, for a simple glass of your homemade natural electrolyte mix instead. Third, stop chugging large amounts of water in one sitting. Instead, sip steadily throughout your day. Your kidneys and your energy levels will genuinely thank you for it. These 3 habits cost you almost nothing, take less than a minute each, and directly address the exact mechanism we talked about earlier, giving sodium and a little natural sugar the chance to escort water into your cells instead of straight through you. And here's a small bonus win: keep an eye on the color of your morning urine for the next week. Pale yellow generally means you're holding on to fluid well. Consistently darker, even though you're drinking plenty of water, is often a quiet sign that your minerals, not your fluid intake, are the missing piece. Before we wrap up, drop a comment and tell me which one of these 3 fast wins you're going to try first: the pinch of salt and lemon, the drink swap, or the steady sipping habit. I genuinely read these, and it helps me know what to cover next. Let's bring this all together. Your body doesn't just need water, it needs the right minerals to actually use that water once it arrives. Plain water on its own can sometimes pass right through you without ever fully rehydrating your cells, especially if your sodium and potassium levels are already running low. The good news is this is completely within your control. A simple homemade mix of water, a pinch of sea salt, citrus, and a touch of natural sugar can help your body hold on to fluid dramatically better than water alone. Add in natural sources like coconut water and hydrating whole foods, and you're giving your body exactly what it's been quietly asking for all along. This isn't about buying anything expensive. It's about understanding how your own body actually works, and finally working with it instead of against it. 9 simple steps, 3 fast wins, and 1 small mixture in a glass, that's genuinely the whole shift. If this changed the way you think about hydration, you're going to want to see what happens to your energy and focus when you fix the other most overlooked habit in this exact area. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it, and click the next video now, because what you're about to learn there might matter even more than everything we just covered.